Hello my friends and welcome. It is July 2022 and it's time for the Karen Burniston Designer Challenge. This month Karen challenged us to make a spinner card, either using the spinner square, the mailbox mechanism, or something that twirls on a string. So I decided that I would make a barrel full of monkeys. So my front of my card says "Go wild on your birthday." It's got that little funny monkey on there. On the inside, it's got a barrel of monkeys. They turned out really cute. They're lots of fun. They spin, and I'm going to show you how I made it. So let's get going. Okay, I'm going to start out with my base card, and for this one I want a top fold, and this card is 5 by 5 square. And I cut my paper 10 inches by 5, scored it down the center. Then I've already added my two panels, my decorative panels for the inside. I also have prepared all my other parts, first off being the barrel. Now I used my scan and cut and found a shape that I liked and used that, but if you don't have that, that's fine. You can still do the same thing by using clip art, sizing it the way you want and cutting it out by hand. I also have my center band for the barrel cut, but I don't want to put that on just yet because I want to make sure that when I put the monkey on the inside that I'm not impeding the movement and creating a catch point. So I'm going to do that later. I have all my little cute monkeys. There's more. We may need to make some more, but I don't think so at this point. I have my banner for the bottom. Oops, here's another little monkey hiding. I made some little gifts and some party hats to decorate the inside with, just like that. Here's another one. Okay, I'm going to set those all aside. I've also made my front panel, and I like to put that on last because sometimes you have an oops and you might end up with the card upside down. So I always put that on last and I make sure that I have it on correctly. Last but not least is the mechanism, and this mechanism I used the Mailbox Pop-Up, and I made it exactly as Karen showed in her instruction video, which I have linked below, so I'm not going to go into that. I did, however, make one little change, and that was I doubled this piece right here, that little arm that comes down, because it's going to be holding quite a few layers of paper, so it might be added weight, and I wanted to make that really sturdy. So that, other than that, the assembly for the Mailbox Pop-Up is exactly the same. So the first thing that I want to do is get my barrel ready to go on the mechanism, and for that I cut an extra mailbox just to use as a pattern. I took my barrel, I laid it, lined up the mailbox part along the edge, and just the way I was going to add it to the mechanism, got it straightened out just the way I want it. I marked it with a pencil right there, and then I simply just cut it out with a little pair of tiny scissors. So I'm going to set that aside. I also made some alterations to a couple of the monkeys. I wanted them to be stacked up, and I know I'm going to put them on the side of my barrel like this. But this little guy up here, his tail stuck way out, so I had to do a little bit of monkey surgery on that. I cut off his tail and replaced it up here, and I cut off his arm and replaced it over here so he could be within the confines of the card. Trust me, no monkeys were harmed during the card making. As always, I made my ugly prototype just to make sure that everything would work. It's as ugly as always, but it gets the job done. Okay, I'm going to turn the card over and we'll get started. Okay, so let's begin by putting glue all over the mailbox. And you're going to put it on the front because it's going to attach to the barrel. Okay, that seems good. Now you want to put the barrel on top of the mechanism, on the front of it, and line up those holes. And make sure that this little tab on the mailbox is sticking out. Now for aligning it on the bottom of the barrel, I like to just put it down here so that this part of the mechanism that holds it onto the card moves freely. And you don't want too much hanging down here, and if you have the barrel down there, the card's not going to close. So far so good. We'll stick that down. Okay, now we want to attach it to our card. Now I've already done the measurements on mine, so I know that I have marked it right here. So you need to just like do trial and error, mark your card, and I'm going to put mine down just like this, right between the two marks. And I'm going to line it up with the crease of the card, not crossing it, but just coming up to it. I'm going to put some glue on my tab. Excuse me while I take it sideways for a minute. I want to make sure I get it lined up correctly. So I'm going to put my tab just like this, and I'm going to line it up with the crease of my card. Not crossing the crease, but just right up to it. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to let that glue set up just a minute. So you can see that when it flips up this way, it's going to pull it up. So then I want to lay it down like this. I want to flatten my mechanism, making sure that that little tab is sticking through the front of the card out of the hole. Now this one has two tabs here, but we're only going to put glue on this part right here. This is exactly the same as Karen has it in her instruction video. The only difference here is we have a barrel attached to it. So I'm going to close the cover over the glue. I'm going to let that set up for just a second before we do anything else. Okay, so now that we've had some time for the glue to set up, let's check our progress. I'm going to open it up, and just like that, there's that little barrel popping up, and there's some little space under there, so that makes it good. Now, I'm sure there is a more scientific way to do this, but this is the way I've added the monkeys. First of all, I took these two little guys that I wanted to have coming out of the top of the barrel, and I have glued them. I put them the way I'd like them to be, and then I've glued them together. Now on the back, I glued the foot here and the hand here, so they're stuck together. And then I took a little piece of scrap paper, and I put it right across there on both of them, so that there's a better foundation, because the mechanism that pops up that holds these guys in the barrel and swings them down is kind of narrow, so it's hard to line that up. And I thought because there's a piece of paper there, it'll catch on that piece. So let's give it a try. Okay, I'm going to lay my card flat out, and then I'm going to gently pick up the barrel, and I'm going to put some glue on the top of the mechanism right there. I hope you can see that. Just on the top of the mechanism. And now I'm going to take the little cute guys. I'm going to line them up just the way I like them, the way I plan to have them. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to press it down into that glue. Now I'm going to give that a minute. But while I'm waiting for that to set up, I'm going to give it a good press here. I'm going to check it. Yep, it's stuck on there. Okay, so those little guys are stuck on there. Next, I'm going to put on my little guys on the side. Where are they? They've scampered off. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I found my little monkeys. They'd fallen on the floor, but I retrieved them. So I'm going to put them on the edge of my card just like this. And what I want to do is put them behind the barrel with their ears in the front. So I'm going to do it like this, everything else behind. And I'm going to position them the way I think I like them, which is like that. Now, I'm going to put some glue under the ear of the top one. And I'm not going to put the glue on the bottom one yet because I want to put the band on before I glue him down. Push him all the way over here. Okay, I'm going to press that glue down. Give that a second. Okay, he's stuck on there. Now you can see everybody stays within the confines of the card. When it closes, the little top guys move, and the little side guys stay within the card, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so what I want to do next is attach this little cute guy right in the center of the barrel. And he's going to move up and down on the arm that on the mailbox moves the flag. And if you recall in the instruction video that Karen did, she says to put the glue just on the end. But I decided that I would extend that, and I have done that. And if it's too long, I can always cut it off. But the way I did it was to cut another piece using the die, this section of it, that's what makes it come out through the hole. I just added it on with a little bit of glue and extended it on out so that it's farther out. I have done a little experimenting, so I do know that it works. This placement will work. So what I'm going to do is put some glue on here, just like that. Now I'm going to place this little guy so that his ear covers the hole. His body is on the glue. And I'm going to move him up just like this. Pesky little guy. I'm going to press him down into the glue. I'm going to give that a minute. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to think about how I'm going to put this barrel band on. Now that I have the monkey on, I think I can put it right down here. But let's see. Okay, let's try that. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Just like he's spinning around. He's so cute. Okay. Sorry about that. Alright, now I'm going to put the band on, but I want to put it on so that it doesn't interfere with the working of that little guy. So I'm going to go off screen for a second. I'm going to check my placement, and I'll let you know how that works out. So my friends, here's the story about the barrel band. As it turned out, I had to end up taking this little guy off of the card. I had to cut the band in half and glue it on either side of the hole to make it look, in my opinion, correct. So I did that. I put the little guy back on, and then I decided, well, he needs another little friend over here. So we added this little monkey over here, looking out from behind the barrel. And I think it's going to be done because I went ahead while I was off screen and put my greeting on. As you can see, it says, "Have more fun than a barrel of monkeys." I also put on the front of my card, which is, "Go wild on your birthday." So I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm really happy with it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you were inspired to make some monkeys of your own. They are pretty darn cute. All the products that I used are listed in the description box below, as well as Karen's instruction video for the mailbox. Until next time, bye-bye.